Hello, I'm back again, Meagalogue from ProbanSA, here to do an interview with Marcia Lebambo, an inspiring woman who's got a fantastic caliber of working and entrepreneurship and inspiring girls and inspiring women. And we're just here to talk about her, find out more about what she does, who she is, and why she does it. So just join us, enjoy the video. Thank you for watching. Go to www.probansa.co.za to go through our Meagalogue and to see this video here at the Cura building. It's about to go down. It's nice to see you again.
Welcome. This is my office.
Beautiful space. I like this.
So I'm hiding. Yes, actually.
Oh, this is your den.
This is where I'm hiding.
Oh wow, this is so cute, man. I like that picture.
Thank
actually.
you.
Okay, so let's just get it all started.
Sit.
Have a seat. I guess feel welcome.
Thank you.
Hi everybody, Meagalogue here, the editor and marketing manager for the Proban Meagalogue. Thank you so much firstly for watching this video. This is our very first video amongst many that we are going to shoot, bringing you more of successful people who are doing well in the industry that they've chosen to do. So today we've got the wonderful and beautiful Marcia Lebambo, and she works at TUT. She's an inspiring woman who does a lot of things, inspiring girls in the entrepreneurship sphere, in the world of just womanhood and sisterhood, and she's going to tell us more about what she does here and what she's going to do and her event that she just hosted a weekend ago. Thank you, Marcia.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. Are you well, though?
I'm great. Thank you so much. I'm so excited about the conversation today.
Yes.
And yeah.
Yes,
I'm all
yes.
good.
Be excited, be excited. Just to give you a brief background of how me and Marcia met, we were at the NASDEF conference. NASDEF is the National Agency for Student Affairs Practitioners. There we go. At NASDEF in Bloemfontein. It was actually in the same weekend with Imakufe, so even finding accommodation was a mission. And I'm just so happy and blessed that our paths crossed, because now we're sitting here. How wonderful. And she delivered a session. It was like a 30-minute session, and it was so rushed, and I was so sad that it was so rushed, because the content, because it was a part of her thesis that she's going to tell us more about actually. And when I was listening to her, I was so inspired, and I was like, I have to do something with this woman, you know, and just showcase you and show everybody what you do and what you believe in, and how, of course, she inspired me. And for what some of you might not know is I'm also an entrepreneurship graduate from the University of Johannesburg. So this is more of a personal stride and interview for me, because it's so wonderful to be in the presence of a young, beautiful lady who's leading and making the first, if not many, steps in the world of entrepreneurship. So let us run it along and give her the center stage. So now our first question at Proban that we'd really like to know is, what is your role, outside of what you'll tell us more of, what is your role here at Tshwane University of Technology, Garankuwa campus?
Well, my title is Senior Campus Officer. So I'm very close with the campus director.
Okay.
And the Dean of Faculty. At Garankuwa campus, we are responsible for economics and finance. So all the students that want to be auditors, accountant, and the financial officers, they are based in Garankuwa. You know that TUT had about 5
this
campuses.
campus is only for...
It's only for those
finance and economics.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we know that we've got Soshanguve campus, we've got Pretoria campus, we've got Mpumalanga and in Witbank, and we also have a campus in Polokwane. But basically in Garankuwa, we're responsible for economics and finance.
Okay.
So my role is to coordinate all functions of the university in this particular campus.
Wow.
I need to make sure that if Fikile, she's the director in marketing and PR and communications, she's happy with her job, with support, and with whatever needs that she has.
Okay.
Whenever there are projects in terms of constructions
Mm-hmm.
and they're building a new facility on campus,
Wow.
I need to go there and make sure that the requirements meet what was agreed on.
Okay.
So basically, it's service level agreements.
Okay.
If you are
And
rendering
compliance.
a service and compliance, if you are rendering a service with the university, I need to make sure that it's done according to how we agreed.
Oh,
Both
wow.
externally and internally.
So I'd imagine
So I just run around. My job is to run around and ask, are you okay? Are you
campus, and this is the main
Yes,
branch. This is where
this
you
is where I
base, but
base,
you
yes.
work with all the TUT
Yeah.
campuses.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? That is amazing.
what I
So
do.
you're like superwoman.
I am on certain days. I'm on my all-star techies. I'm not on
Yeah.
my high heels because I
Yeah.
have to literally run around.
Wow.
If you want to get things done, I believe that you need to go on the ground level and not wait in the office and start calling and communicating on emails.
Wow.
I believe in going there and seeing literally how people are and so that I can give a basically honest report because I've been there. I've seen the things.
Oh, that's lovely. So when you say you work closely with the dean, are you the second last signature in what has to happen?
Yes, that's what I
We
do.
only
So if
speak
you
with
can't get
major
hold of the
people.
dean, you
Yeah.
at least can get hold of me. So that's what I do.
So the Megalog only deals with like major people.
Exactly.
Like that's where we are right now, okay? Don't get it twisted, okay? So taking into account that you do a lot of things for ETUT, and there's a lot of things that you do on the side, but I would imagine there's a lot of things you do in between. So how do you motivate females in your industry? No, I'm not saying we want to exclude men in the role that you play, but females are always underrated anyway in terms of how work is delivered, and we're too emotional and we give birth, and there's so many things that people will say. They'll say no, or that will make people say no. We don't believe a woman can carry out this role. I would imagine a woman, rather a man, would carry out this role that you play. So how do you motivate in the things that you do, not through saying, but how do you make sure that what you do motivates another female in feeling that she can carry out this duty?
You know, I believe in getting things done. If people see action, they get motivated. I can stand in front of people and take a mic and say, I'm able to do 1, 2, 3. But if they don't see the physical results, they will not be motivated. So, for example, I'm just going to give a typical example. We hosted what we call Tshwane Regional Spelling Bee. It was one of the most massive events I've ever organized. It involves young learners, as young as grade 5, grade 6, grade 7 until grade 11. And we're talking over 100 learners who participated in that particular event. It was massive in nature. It involved different schools, primary and high school, different cultures, different backgrounds of the schools. Coming together was a mission because, you know, the other guy says, in our school, this is what we do. The other guy says, but I had to coordinate all of that and make sure that it's an event that had impact in terms of teaching young people to read and learn and write. So after doing that, the response that I received from media, from colleagues, from friends, from normal people on the streets, who says, we saw you on certain publication, we're very proud of what you're doing in the community.
Yes.
For me, that's a validation that, you know, as women, we are capable of doing anything.
Wow.
When I got the position, a lot of people were worried that we have you're young, you're woman, you'll be responsible for a university campus. That's big. And
That's
you will be
huge.
talking, sometimes I go to meetings and I get worried every time I go to a meeting and we are 20 and I'm the only woman. And I'm like, what's going on? You know, especially
So
this big
misrepresentation
exactly.
of the female gender is quite rife
It's
in
quite
the corporate
it's
industry.
quite big, it's quite rife, and I think not enough is being done because sometimes I would literally get scared that am I in the wrong meeting or something?
Wow.
Are we excluded as women? So I feel I've got a responsibility that God has given me the platform to lead. And there are certain women that are looking up to me to say, what are you doing better? So that they don't say,
I'm
you
looking up to
see,
you.
you
Yeah.
see, I don't want people tomorrow to say, you see, we gave a woman a position, what happened?
Oh,
So I want them
wow.
to say, she is an example that anything is possible. So that's exactly what I'm trying to do. By my day-to-day activities, I don't try and do a big tree and say, look at the tree, it's big, we can do it. The smallest things that I do on campus, I'm simply trying to say, as women, we are capable of doing anything.
Of doing anything. Are there any other events that you have been a part of that actually motivated you in running your own, or was it something that was like, you know what, this is what I'm going to do and no one's going to stop me?
You know, I'm originally from Bushback Ridge. So Bushback Ridge is in the rural areas in Mpumalanga. So that's how I grew up, that's where I'm from. And coming to Pretoria was a huge change for me because it's the city, it's busy lives. I'm from the rural areas, it's very quiet. And I studied in a public government school where, you know, nobody cares. Not that really nobody cares, but there's so not many facilities that can help young people to excel in whatever they do. So coming to Pretoria or this side, for me was a bit challenging, you know, to say, what then we do, because we're not used to that fast life. But I felt that coming this side will give me an exposure to say, even the guys from the rural areas, the forgotten guys, they are capable of doing something.
So that's what actually motivated
That's what
you
actually motivated me to say, I've got a lot of friends back at home that could not come to university. I'm one of the luckiest few through the National Student Financial Aid to be able to study. So I've got a responsibility because they are watching back at home to say, what is it that she's doing that we can copy from? So that motivated me to say, I need to make sure that people from Bushbuck Ridge in the rural areas are proud of me, that we are represented. Yeah.
Wow, that is so amazing. I mean, can you listen to what you say? Can you just hear it? Okay, so you actually now answered my next question about the spelling bee. What were the aspects that went to it? Because from a personal events point of view, organizing an event, you need people to support you, you need people to believe in your idea. When you're speaking and you're halfway crying and they're like, why is she believing in this so much and we don't even see the vision? How did you actually convince, or was it just something that, you know what, it just rolled over? You didn't have to convince anybody, it just happened?
Not at all. I'm glad you mentioned that. At one point I said, why do I do this? Like, you know, things are not coming okay. You know, when you're organizing a massive event and things are not coming okay, you know, sponsors are coming on board and on the last minute they call you and say, we won't be able to help you. And I had to use my own cash. I'm not complaining, I'm very excited I did that because it was for a good cause. At the end of the day, I needed to say, do we continue? Because Figile dropped us in the last minute, or we stop. And at one point, I needed to literally walk supermarket by supermarket and say, hi, my name is Marcia from TUD, but this is an event that we are doing. It's an initiative called Spelling Bee, where we teach young people from the townships, especially black schools, to read, to learn, to write. And they start asking questions. How can we help? I need stationery packs from you. I need food packs. So I needed to go literally house by house or business by business to say this is the idea. And you're right. People donate if your idea makes sense. People will not invest money if your idea is not making any sense. I had to write letters of motivations. I needed to go and talk to them and convince them. But at the end of the day, the results was overwhelming. I'm still shocked that we were able to do such a massive event.
I would also be shocked because it takes so much to convince one person.
It takes so much.
It takes so much for a person to believe in what you want to do. So how was the response from the parents? I mean, I would imagine the corporate side of things, they believed in you, that's why they sponsored you. But I mean, this is something that I always read about and I always hear about, that most black parents are not supportive of any extracurricular activities that their children do. They go and they play soccer, the stadium is empty. They go and they go to spelling bees. You don't see parents, you sometimes see people that you would have told to come, you know. How was the support from the parents of the children that took part?
The community, including teachers, learners, and parents. And we ensure that the school governing body is also involved. So it's not a Marcia Lebambo thing. The entire community need to rally behind the idea. So certain learners came with their parents, they're very proud. You know, especially as black learners, we're not used to participating in front of our parents because we don't do that. So as one parent who came to me and said, do you mind if I can just excuse myself because my child is about to spell? I'm like, why? I'm not supposed to be watching your child spelling the word. And she said to me, no, because I don't think she'll be able to be comfortable when I'm around. So I immediately said, it means as black parents, we don't participate in our learners, our children's activities. That's why we're not comfortable. I'm not also comfortable to be interviewed in front of my mother because I grew up not talking my dreams in front of him. Yes, so
I can totally relate. I can totally relate.
So I said to her, no, it's fine. If you think your child will be uncomfortable, you can move away. And when she's done spelling, you can come in. But I felt very sad that she could not.
So she actually did.
She moved out.
She left the venue. Do you think it's something that the child might have required or asked the mom and said, Mom, I don't think I'll be comfortable spelling? It was something you didn't even ask.
You know, I think maybe we don't communicate. Especially, I really have to say sorry because I continuously mentioning black communities, because that's the only community that I grew up and I can relate to. But I think I would have wanted my mother to be there and witnessing me spell that
because it's
very
supposed to
difficult
support
way.
you and encourage you as a child. That was very anti result, if I may put it that way.
But it went well. I think when a parent comes to you and say, you know what, I think you are doing something positive in the community, the learners are changing in terms of the mindset. I always tell them that, you know, you can stop TV and this channel or music stations for a while and just
watch the
book,
news and,
you know,
read a book. Definitely.
And we are now challenging the office of the MMC in Tshwane, the city of Tshwane, to say we've got a new mall next to different schools. We've got new facilities, but there are no bookshops there.
Yeah.
So you're not expecting black people to be able to read if you don't provide those facilities. It's very rare in a black community you find a mall or a shopping complex and then there's a bookshop in it.
I know,
what
because
does
at
that say
Maponya Mall
about?
it was the first store to close down. So, which actually takes me to my next question. What change do you see that the spelling bee has done? Like a change that you actually saw either in a learner or in all the learners? What participation through the spelling bee actually aided growth in knowledge and reading and literacy?
When we were busy preparing the event, what I did is every time I go to a school and say top 6 that will represent the school, I would take their contact details and say, I want to communicate with them. I don't want to see them in the final event. I want to get to know them better. So we would communicate on WhatsApp. So I made it very clear that when you talk to me, you don't write 3 letters and that is a sentence. I don't want that. You need to write the sentence in full. So if you say about, it must be ABT, it must be about. So as they started communicating to me on WhatsApp, they would say, hi, Sis Marcia, because most of them, they see me as their sister, so I'm very excited that they would call me Sis Marcia and I would respond. And they say, how about we meet tomorrow for the practice of spelling bee? And I say, do you mind if you correct your sentence? And then they would apologize and they write in full. So I started to see the culture changing, to say, wow, so they can write. And this is not about praising English as the most important language, but unfortunately it's a language that is communicated with the entire world. So we need to know how to write and how to read. I also reminded them that, you know what, whatever qualification that you want to do in a university, English will be one of the required subjects. I don't care if you want to be a doctor or you want to be an engineer,
a mathematician,
whatever that you want to do, English will always accompany one of the subjects that you want to do in a specific qualification. So you might as well do it. You know, because we don't want a situation where your maths and science is okay, but your English is not okay, then you will not be accepted in a specific university. So those are the type of information that I give out to them, and they say, oh, okay, we were not aware, but thank you so much, we are now aware, and then we'll try and improve. And the reading side, I told them that, you know what, you can imagine personally, coming from Bushbuckridge in the rural areas, where in the English class we communicate in Sepedi, and it's okay. You know, coming to university and they wanted to give us presentations in class, you'll probably be the last person to volunteer for a presentation because you know you can't communicate confidently in English. That was one of the biggest major challenges, and self-confidence obviously went very low, and the esteem went obviously very low because you're not even sure if you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing. So I said, immediately after completing my qualification, the first thing that I would do is to take care of the needs of the kids in the townships and in the rural areas, because that's where the need is.
Okay, wow, that's
what drove the spelling bee event. It wasn't just me wanting learners to spell, but I said I had a condition when I was growing up. I was not as confident as I am today because I felt, why is my English sounding different from her English? Because the pronunciations are different,
right?
And I felt this is not good enough. And I said, but I can't blame my parents. You know, they don't have the money to take me to
I just thought of something because I've been doing, I did public speaking, I stayed fed and choral verse and speaking to people either in a group or prepared reading, all those things since grade 1 until matric, you know. So what other forms of speaking as a subject, if I can call it that, does your initiative offer, or is it just spelling bee?
It's not only spelling bee. We only try and challenge them intellectually, because you know, it's one thing that you don't even understand where we come from as a country. You don't even know your history. So we would say, tell us about this person. The person is 20 years old. She got her first democracy in 1994, and the person was led first time by a black president in 1994. So you need to know that that is South Africa, you know.
Okay.
So we would give them a scenario and we say, tell us about that particular thing. What is it there? So we not only say learn to spell, but we say know things, know what is happening around, you know.
Because the reason why I said that is maybe I can come on board voluntarily to train them in terms of speaking, public speaking,
that would be great.
Yeah, we can talk about
Please,
that after.
that would be great.
Yeah, because already I'm just like thinking.
I would appreciate that. That would help them a lot, because you can tell a learner that is from better school and one of the struggling schools, because when they say Fikile Gama, can you come and spell the word? Some they literally drag their feet.
Yeah,
you know,
you
ask
need to,
yourself,
you know, poise, look up, be confident. Yes.
And there's actually a very interesting category that we gave that was unexpected. That there was this young boy who was so confident and he got all the words wrong. You know,
wow, but
he was so confident. And when he grabbed the mic and we say spell communications, and you would spell communication not the right way, but the confidence that you actually think is the right way because of the confidence. And we actually gave him a trophy and a cash prize for that. He said, you see how good he is? He didn't get the words right, but he's sitting at the back, So I would be more than happy if you can come and assist.
And do the speaking part of things. Okay, we'll sort that out. You see?
We've got an assignment.
We've got something to do right after the interview. So just two things to ask you in terms of the product offered at Proban, because we do we offer financial institutions and educational institutions with tablets and cell phones, and you spoke about reading. Do you think that since people, I mean, I've got a tablet, I'm not using a notebook, do you get what I mean? So tablets and technology have gone against or taken away the printed medium.
Yes.
If we were to then introduce tablets as the book, would that not aid or just coax them into reading? Because now the tool that you are using to read is what you hold every day anyway.
I think it would, in a big way, in a massive way. I think it would change things, you know, immensely, because they've got a cell phone in their hand every day, and you want them to go and read a notice board. It's going to be very different and difficult for them to do.
So if you were to WhatsApp it to them, it's like it's still the same. It's still the same text. It's still the same message, but the tool used to read from. Or to read about what you guys are doing is now on you. It's mobile. And another question that I want to ask you about, like student finance, which is something else that we offer at ProbanSA. Do you see it as something that if I were a learner and I've gone through spelling bee since grade 6 to grade 12, and now I want to go study literature or English or bilinguistics, whatever it's called, we'll cut that out, please. But I want to study languages, there we go, and I want to study languages, but I can't because either NSFAS or whatever, another form of finance has rejected me. What are the barriers that you know personally where a learner has this dream but the finances have taken the dream away or slowed the dream down?
You know, like I said, I'm a graduate of a master's degree from TUT in entrepreneurship, and if it wasn't for the National Student Financial Aid, I'd probably be sitting at home. So, you know, we're struggling. I think we are doing better as a country, but we're still struggling because the administration part of getting that finance is one of the stumbling blocks for a lot of learners to come into a university. They would want things like your mother's IDs and you know, the affidavit from police stations, and they would want a lot of documents. Sometimes the learners, they don't have those things. Sometimes the information does not reach the learner to say ProbanSA, this is what they need, and you need to bring those things. And by the time you've got all the information, they would say, oh, unfortunately we've closed because you were supposed to have brought it last week. So I think the first step is giving out information. If you are in an institution that is giving out bursaries or financial aid to learners, you need to go out and give information that this is what we need from your side for you to get financial aid. So from there, they will take it further. But one of the things was not knowing exactly what to do. I mean, I left Bushbuckridge coming to Pretoria, and I was told that we need your mother's ID. Fortunately enough, I had those things. But imagine for someone who did not have those things, and then you had to go back and come back again. So I think we need to give information as best as possible.
So that's the key. And you touched on your qualifications. So just be proud to run down what you've achieved. academically?
Oh well, I'm not stopping anytime soon. I'm really not stopping anytime soon. You know, I've got a additional diploma in administrative management from TUT. The following year, after completing, I said I'm not going back home. You know, I'm not employed, but I'm going to do another thing. I did a BTech in strategic management, and I did another BTech in public management, and then I did another qualification with UNISA in business communications. And then I did a master's degree in entrepreneurship with TUT. And I've got all of those things at the age of 26. So I was so excited that, you know what? So you can get a better position and you're able to take care of the people at home and yourself within these particular qualifications. What more would happen to your life and your parents' lives and your community's lives if you just go on and go on? So that's not right now I'm busy with my PhD. And I'm focusing on rural development. I'm very passionate about rural development because I'm from the rural areas, you know, and I'm very proud of that, and I would not change it for anything. So I'm running away with that education. I'm holding it in my hands, and I'm not stopping anytime soon because making it to you, you know, it really inspired me to say, you know, look at these professors, you know, they are very old. And I hope I'm not going to be in trouble for saying that. But they're very old.
Because we just came back from being with them at nothing.
Exactly, you know, they're very old. And I think we need new knowledge in the country. We need young people to bring in new knowledge. And sometimes maybe the reason why we are unable to solve some of the socio-economic challenges that are facing us today is because we are consulting in the old book of knowledge. Maybe as young people, we need to go back and say, you know why there's too much crime? It's because of this. You know why there's too much unemployment within the youth? There's so much discontentment within the youth. You know, people. I was reading. They've just requested me to write an article for a local newspaper about the youth of 2014, and I titled my article, "Why is it that there is so much culture of entitlement and demands within the youth of the country?" We need new knowledge.
I know there's the saying that if you are born poor, it's not your fault, but if you die poor, it is your fault.
Definitely.
So that just sums it all up. Let's just stand up and do something with our lives and just make it happen for each other. I think that's one thing that we also forget, which is something that you haven't done, is getting all your qualifications, doing everything in school, and then just forgetting where you come from.
Nobody cares, like whatever.
Like, listen, I'm good now, you know. So what you've done is you've now gone back, which is something that a lot of people, from professionals to black people, to white people, any race in this country, there's a lot of people who have made it financially and coupled with that academically. But when you ask them, or when you go to their homes where they grew up, it's dilapidated. Their mothers are hungry. Their brothers and sisters have no education, and he or she is the only person who comes with their nails and their English and their professionalism, and they just come and they chop money and they go. Because now they don't want to be affiliated with that. So what would you like to say to people who have made it? What would you like for them to remember?
You know, when I grow up every day, when I wake up rather, every day to say this, that I think I owe the world so much. I wake up every day, I don't know who is waking me up, and I'm able to drive from home to work, and I drive back from work back to my house. And for that, I think I owe the world. So every day when I wake up in the morning, I've got that mentality that I owe someone something, because I'm okay, I'm healthy, I feel good, you know, I feel beautiful, I'm happy, and someone is taking care of those things. And because I will not go to that someone and say, Fikile, thank you so much for keeping me happy and healthy, the least I can do is to change other people's lives for the better. So that's what I do every day. And I always remind myself that my sister-in-law, actually, she's the one who told me, because she was studying at the University of Limpopo, she said to me, you know what, we know the situation at home. Mom and dad are unemployed. They don't even know what a class would look like. They've never been to school. So there's this thing called National Student Financial Aid. You apply, you get funding that you will pay later on when you start working. And she gave me all the information, and I would always remember her for that, to say, if she did not give me that information, I would not be at home. So I owe it to someone to give out information. So if the whole week would pass by and I did not help someone, I feel like you know what, I'm not doing justice to the world. So
Wow.
we look around ourselves. You too, Fikile, you can go back and say, to be where I am, someone laid a hand, someone helped me. So it means we owe it to others that are actually not able to be where we are today. So I would really want to encourage people that we need to help each other. We need to, you know, especially women, we need to embrace each other, and we need to be there for each other and really help each other.
Wow. Those words are amazing. They've just helped to encapsulate everything we came here for. Thank you so much, Marcia, for giving us your time, your knowledge, your experience, and of course your touching stories about where you come from to where you are now. And as I said during the interview, don't stop, because it doesn't stop. Once you stop, life carries on, but it doesn't take you with it, you know. So let's just I wish you all the best. And it doesn't end here, because we still need to talk about the public speaking, about the spelling bee. So I'm assuming it's an annual event. So next year, I can guarantee you now, Marcia's Spelling Bee next year is going to have a public speaking platform for any child, girl, boy, any age, who wants to speak and not spell, because not everybody wants to stand there. And I'm not going against the ones who lost, but you don't want to stand there and spell a word wrong, and then you know how school children are. The following week they're like, you got that name wrong, you know. So maybe another person might have talent in speaking. So that's what I would like to add to what she's offering. And give them confidence, and give them the need to want to learn, because that's what Proban as a company is about. We're all about education, even if it's not about financing you, but it's all about making sure that when you are at a FET or a university or a private college, not only are you learning, but you have the peace of mind that you don't have to worry about other financials and other things that will stress you at night about when's your next thing going to be able to come to you. But it's all about making sure that you learn and that you study. So we thank you
so much. I think
Ms.
better
Marcia.
be done.
I know, right? We could go forever, but I can see that
so
this is and also you can just buy yourself a copy of, or go to the website if they do have a digital copy of her article about the spelling bee that was held this past weekend, just to have a good see of what she hosted. Or you can go to our website, www.probansa.co.za, to see the article behind this interview, and of course on our YouTube page, and everything is going to be on your screen, so don't worry about that. We'll give you all the information that you need to watch, to hear, to like, to love, to share, to be on Facebook, and to tweet and to retweet. Just go crazy with this content and this article. Go crazy with Mrs. Marcia. And of course her Facebook name and her Twitter handle will be included in this video. Thank you so much for watching. We love you all. Bye.